Have you ever thought that a single, tiny choice could change your entire life? For John, a quiet man in his early 70s, it was a small decision, one he almost ignored. But that choice ended up reshaping everything he believed about happiness, love, and purpose. John had lived a long, simple life, a quiet man with grey hair and kind eyes. He had spent decades focused on work, routines, and responsibilities. Friends and family often described him as dependable, thoughtful, and practical, but he carried a lingering sense of emptiness that he could never explain. Every day felt like a repeat of the last, and though he had stability, he lacked fulfillment. One ordinary morning, as sunlight filtered softly through the kitchen window, John noticed a small flyer pinned to his community board, an invitation to a storytelling workshop at the local library. At first, he almost ignored it. After all, what difference could one small decision make at his age? John had always been practical. His life revolved around predictable routines: morning coffee at the same cafe, walks in the park, weekly phone calls to his children. He rarely stepped out of his comfort zone, and though he often wondered what if, he told himself it was too late for change. But something about that flyer lingered in his mind. Why not? He whispered one evening, unsure if he was convincing himself or simply dreaming. The fear of stepping into the unknown tugged at him, yet he felt a quiet curiosity stirring, something he hadn't felt in decades. That week, John watched as friends dismissed his new idea. Why bother now? They asked. Even his children shrugged politely, thinking he was indulging in a hobby. And yet, the thought of ignoring the workshop filled him with an inexplicable regret. What if this small decision, attending the workshop, could actually matter? On the morning of the workshop, John hesitated at his doorstep. The decision was trivial to most, but for him, it carried a weight he could barely name. With a deep breath, he stepped out, feeling the first flicker of excitement in years. The library was quiet, warm, and welcoming. Elderly men and women sat in chairs arranged in a circle, each holding a small notebook. When John entered, the facilitator smiled kindly and said, "Every story matters, and today we'll share ours." At first, John felt self-conscious. He had never shared anything personal beyond polite conversation. But as participants began telling their own tales, stories of lost loves, life lessons, regrets, and small joys, something shifted inside him. He realized how many moments he had overlooked in his own life. When it was his turn, John hesitated, but then he spoke, quietly at first, about a long-ago friendship he had neglected, a dream he had abandoned, and the tiny decisions that had built the life he now lived. As the words flowed, he felt an unexpected relief, a lightness that years of routine had buried. Others nodded, smiled, and shared gentle encouragement. For the first time in decades, John felt seen and heard. That small choice, attending a simple workshop, unlocked a door he hadn't realized existed. His world suddenly seemed broader, brighter, and full of possibility. In the weeks that followed, John began embracing other small decisions. He reconnected with old friends, started writing down life reflections, and even volunteered at the local library to mentor younger adults. Every tiny step built momentum, each choice rippling into the next. The life he once thought ordinary now felt meaningful. John learned something simple yet profound. Life is not built only from grand gestures, achievements, or milestones. It is shaped by small decisions, the quiet choices we make when no one is watching. One yes, one step, one moment of courage can transform our path completely, even in the later years of life. The lesson is for all of us, young or old. Don't underestimate the power of a single choice. What you decide to do today, however small or insignificant it may seem, can open doors to joy, connection, and fulfillment that you never imagined. John's story reminds us that it is never too late to act, to try, to take that first step. A small decision can truly change everything. If John's story inspired you, remember, small choices can create big changes in your own life. Stay with us for more heartfelt stories that remind us what truly matters, and let these quiet lessons guide your journey.